Let's bring in our experts now to discuss some of the legal implications here. Founder and president of Article 3 Project, former law clerk to Justice Neil Gorsuch. We are welcoming Mike Davis, and also attorney and advisor to the Donald Trump campaign 2024, Christina Bobb. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
I'd like to put up some of your tweets, Mike, as you've been reacting to this SCOTUS decision on affirmative action, which really had been, decades sort of in the making, back and forth. You say basically what has happened today is ending illegal racial discrimination. In another tweet, you talked about what really would be happening if Democrats cared about kids, which would be school choice. Walk us through your reaction to today's decision.
Well, first, I must say that President Trump's most important and consequential accomplishment of his first term was transforming the 5-4 left of center court to the 5-4 Clarence Thomas court. And that's why we are having decisions today like we have, where the Supreme Court has finally said that this illegal racial discrimination called affirmative action is unconstitutional under the 14th Amendment. And what this affirmative action does is it gives golden tickets to rich, connected black kids, and it to the exclusion of poor, more qualified Asian kids. And that's what the Supreme Court is ending today. And if Democrats actually cared about racial equality in this country, they would stop caving to the teachers' unions and support K-12 educational opportunities and school choice for every kid in America, so the parents can send the kids to the schools of their choice. Why should Barack Obama, who's complaining today about affirmative action, be the only black person in D.C. who gets to send his kids to an elite private?
Hey, Christina, I want to get your thoughts about the ruling. First of all, Chuck Schumer reacted and said that it's a major roadblock in the country's march towards racial justice. And then Justice Sonia Sotomayor, you can see in part what Senator Schumer said. And then Justice Sonia Sotomayor, in her, I believe it was a 69-page dissenting opinion, wrote in part that the indefensible reading of the Constitution is not grounded in law and subverts the 14th Amendment's guarantee of equal protection. Does it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the ruling that came out today absolutely is grounded in the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. The idea that black kids or some other minority kids aren't capable, can't get to these schools on their own merit in and of itself is racist. And that has ended today. So I think the Supreme Court has done a fantastic job of ending racial discrimination. These kids are perfectly capable of competing with their peers. And just the idea that we believe in them enough to be able to do that, I think is important for them to understand that no one thinks you have to get to an Ivy League school just because you're black, but you're actually capable of getting there. And I think that that's what ended today. And I think it's a great ruling.
But isn't it true, though, race can still be taken into consideration? For instance, the admissions can still look at race as, in a person's essay, right? I mean, so there is kind of a catch to it, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. They can't, you still can't discriminate against people based on race. So if, they send you a letter saying you didn't get in because you're white or you didn't get in because you're black, that can still be litigated. That's the whole point of the ruling is you can't do that. So there are absolutely protections in here, the right kinds of protections on the right kinds of issues to make sure that people aren't discriminated against because of their race. That's exactly what this issue does.
And we'll see a lot of the Asian American group that fought for this, celebrating this SCOTUS ruling today. Before we let you guys go, we want to pivot to Hunter Biden being deposed today regarding his laptop. Sort of an interesting twist. A laptop which was disinformation, now confirmed that it's real, and it's part of this lawsuit with the owner there. Mike, what are your thoughts on this and how this may go? Obviously, a lot of what's on that laptop now has come into question.
Hunter Biden is probably the stupidest person in America that he would sue over a laptop and subject himself to a sworn deposition and perjury, a laptop that has the most damning evidence possible that Joe Biden corruptly took millions in foreign bribes as the vice president of the United States, was on the Chinese, Ukrainian, Romanian, and other payrolls. This is such damning evidence, and Hunter Biden wants to walk himself into a perjury trap. Again, the dumbest person in America.
What could possibly come out of the deposition? Is this something that we could actually see released to the public?
Yes. Yes, we have a right to, the public has a right to to go into court, right? So these depositions, the press can file a motion to have these depositions released, and then the court has to decide whether they stay under a protective order or whether the First Amendment trumps that, and they have to release these depositions to the public. And when the press sues, they oftentimes win.
You know, and I'm just dovetailing of what you said, Mike. Christina, he also wanted to lower his payments to Navy, the child he fathered. That actually worked out fine in that case because I guess it's wrapped up. But as Mike's, do you agree that him exposing himself to this type of introspection is just really dangerous?
It's absolutely dangerous. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think Mike hit the nail on the head with that. It's dangerous for himself, but I think it also goes to show a level of recklessness and reckless disregard for the rule of law. They believe that they are above the law. To me, this demonstrates an intent that Hunter Biden doesn't actually expect to be held accountable by the law. So who cares? I can go in and say whatever I want and no one's going to be able to hold me accountable. And maybe that's true, maybe that's not. We'll see, but he will be under oath and he will be bound by that.
Will it backfire? Will it backfire? Stay tuned. We'll be talking all about it. Christina and Mike, thanks for your insight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good to have you both in.